I once had a child drop an absolute bomb on me. And here is what he said. He said, Miss, do you know the difference between knowledge and wisdom? You're always teaching us about spirituality and this, that, and the other. And I just wonder if you know the difference. And I was like, I don't really know. What do you perceive it to be? And he said this, and I was like, damn, that's a bar. Like, I'm going to remember that and use that one day. And here we are. Okay. He said, knowledge is information that you know, and wisdom is your ability to use it. And I was like, dang, that makes a lot of sense to me. And that's what this chapter is all about today, that we're going to be going over in Think and Grow Rich. We're talking about specialized knowledge, right? And specialized knowledge is just information you learned. And what he says right here is knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only when and if organized into definite plans of action and directed to a definite ends. I'm like, that's exactly what that kid was telling me. That kid was very intelligent. He was an interesting character, honestly, very deceitful and manipulative and stuff like that too, but very powerful nonetheless. Would I use my power in the same way as him? Probably not, but very, very powerful human being. And I'm aware enough to notice that. I would even see him playing chess sometimes, and I was like, you're cheating. And I was like, oh my God, you're a cheater. You cheat, don't you? He would be like, no, I'm not cheating. And I was like, oh, the way you play chess is the way you play life. And I was like, this is interesting. I don't trust this kid at all for anything, but he's very powerful. And I saw the way he would use students. It was really interesting. He was always friends with the kids that were like a little slower. And they were very nice kids. And I was like, dang, I bet he's using them in some capacity. And they were nice to him and good to him. And honestly, he was pretty good to them too. But it was obvious that he only used them as pawns. And that's why I think teaching yourself to play games like chess or cards and learning how to move the pieces in a way that benefits you, right, is very, very important. You need to realize that chess is just a game of life. And it's very interesting. So anyways, love, love, love. You really need to consider that not everybody plays the game the same as you, but power can be attained by anyone that can turn knowledge from potential power into actual power. So beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And here it says something that I agree wholeheartedly with. Failure of educational institutions to teach their students how to organize and use knowledge after they're acquiring it is really what the missing link is. And I couldn't agree more. We give these kids all this knowledge and we're like, oh, memorize this, learn this, take a test, blah, blah, blah. But we're not saying, okay, use this practical knowledge for the rest of your life. Okay. And when I taught health and wellness, I taught the children how to meditate, how to do yoga, how to share their good things every day. That was the first 15 minutes of class. We meditated, we shared our good things, and we stretched and did yoga to get into our mind, body, heart, and spirit. But I don't think most classrooms are teaching that, right? So it's very useful to teach people how to apply the knowledge once they get it, right? How to use it outside of the educational system. Another part that I think is really beautiful about this chapter is he talks about the story of Mr. Ford and how he was like on trial for something and they were just bombarding him with questions like, well, what do you know about this? And like, what about this history fact and this history fact? And like, if you're so smart, like, what about when this happened or that happened? And he said, will you kindly tell me why I should clutter my mind with general knowledge for the purpose of being able to answer questions when I have men around me who can supply any knowledge I require? Again, that's the use case of knowledge versus wisdom, right? Because if I know something, just because I know what date, Lincoln was assassinated, doesn't mean that I have the wisdom to go online and find the answer for myself. Right nowadays, we're in a culture and a society where you can go find every bit of information you need online. Do I really need to memorize history text? No. What you need instead is to learn the principles and apply them to your life. But mundane memorization is and has never been useful, all right? It's not very practical or important. So you don't need to memorize random facts about what happened here or there. What we really need to do is learn to apply our knowledge and surround ourselves with people that can help us. Because it also says it was not essential that he have this knowledge in his own mind. You can have knowledge sitting in the minds of other people. And later when we go into the chapter on masterminds, that's exactly what the principle is you're using this hive mind, all of these minds together, right? That's why Beyonce calls it the beehive, because all these people synergizing together bring the aura up, right? It creates this bigger aura around you. So if you know how to get the knowledge you're looking for, you don't have to have all the answers, right? Beyonce doesn't know how the light show at her thing works, right? She knows how to sing. She knows how to throw that booty in a circle, okay? She does her job and she does it well, but she does not need to know the minutia, right? She doesn't even write some of her songs. She doesn't produce the beat. She doesn't do this or that. She shows up, she sings, and she has the wisdom and the knowledge to know that she can acquire anything else she needs as far as knowledge or specialized knowledge from others, which is what the mastermind is all about, that beehive, because that is how you can create something bigger than yourself, only when you use the thought energy of more than one person, right? This is how we create an egregore. I created a video on egregores and I'll have to post it, but egregores is this idea that it's like something that becomes bigger than the self, right? It's like you create this aura around something. It's a little more mystical, but that's for another video. But anyways, the man who can organize and direct a mastermind group of men who possess knowledge useful in the accumulation of money is just as much a man of education as any man in the group. So I went to school, I got my master's degree, I did the whole hoot and holler and shebang, and I'm very educated, and I could go back for my doctorate, and I almost did. But what I know now is that I'm more educated by doing what I'm doing now, posting my videos, looking for help with projects, using a mastermind, getting people together, and creating a synergistic flow of ideas and people and things to meet an end. That's when you really, truly step into your power. So it pays to know how to purchase knowledge. This is something that I did not I did understand. I went to college and stuff, but I didn't understand it more in this context, and that's what I'm going to share today. First of all, decide the sort of specialized knowledge you require and the purpose for which it is needed. Right now, I'm in need of information on how to build a course and how to like what the best platforms are to do that. And I could just go get the knowledge and look it up on the internet. But what I really need to do is I probably need to reach out to somebody who's already done it and just pay them for the information. Or I need to be like, hey, what did you use? What websites worked best? What did you trial and error? How did you price yourself? What worked, what didn't? What have you liked? What have you not liked? And by doing that, I'm probably going to get better results from somebody that already tried it, failed, and all of that than somebody or than just myself who has no idea getting online and just reading a bunch of blogs or something, which is also, that's also other people's thought, energy and stuff. But I'm in a phase right now where I'm believing that currency is currency, needs to be moving around. And if I start asking for this and flowing and learning about what it is I need and how to get it, then maybe, just maybe, it will come to me, right? So I think that's very important to realize. The last thing that I'm going to go over for this chapter is we have in this country what is said to be the greatest public school system in the world, which I worked in for over a decade. We have invested fabulous sums for fine buildings. We have provided convenient transportation for children living in rural districts so that they may attend the best schools. But there is one astounding weakness to this marvelous system. It is free. One of the strange things about human beings is that they value only that which has a price. And I know that sounds crazy. I love teachers, like God bless. I was a teacher for a decade. But I was like, it's like the student isn't ready for this teacher, right? I have more value to offer than this free system for people that literally don't even want it and are forced to be here. I can teach people that want to be here. I can show people a path, a way, and I'm a great teacher. I'm built for this. I've been doing it my whole life. This is my calling. This is my telos arete. And it is my purpose. It is my means. and this is what I'm destined to do. But it is so important to realize that when something's free, you don't value it as much. So if you're doing things that are free, and which is good, you should do free things. You should go for a walk in the park, yada, yada, yada. But if you're trying to do something, if you're trying to get somewhere, maybe the cheapest, fastest way isn't the best option, because you're not going to value it as much if you don't pay for it, or literally exchange your life's energy, which it sometimes shows up in the form of currency, to it, right? It's very, very important. So as we move forward, I have just a couple more things I want to go over. As I look to my future, and every time I've ever had a lull in life, it's because of this statement right here. The person who stops studying merely because he has finished school is forever hopelessly doomed to mediocrity. No matter what may be his calling, this way of success is the way of success is the way of continuous pursuit of knowledge. If you are not seeking the knowledge, you can never, it's only knowledge has energy in it, right? But it's only potential energy, right? Until you use it, the potential can't be unlocked. So if you're not gaining knowledge, you have no potential energy inside of you. You have none of that potential knowledge to use, to extract, to act on. So it is vital that you take a moment and go read that book that you've been thinking about. Ask the universe for what the next step is, and then go seek knowledge in that direction. I am doing exactly what I'm instructed to do, and the urge is here, and the idea is coming to me. So I have to act on it now, or perhaps somebody else will take my thought energy and I can't give it away. Take care.